or if no one is, if someone is watching, because PlayStation doesn't want to tell me. But uh, let's see. You know what? Yeah, we'll write this. Yeah, I'll write this. If I import my skill progression, I'll have every skill unlocked. So I'm not going to do that. Yeah, we're just going to skip the prologue. Well, no. You know what? Just in case anyone hasn't seen it. But I know it's been a while since I've done really anything, but my account kind of sort of got hacked in a giant data breach, and I lost a lot of stuff that I had to get back. So, that kind of sucks for me. But
who are you?
Hello to the one person watching.
Get out of my way.
Leave him to me.
Over here, obviously playing Sifu, which I didn't learn until just recently. A lot of people don't actually know this game exists. Because normally people just look at it and just say, it looks cartoonish, it's going to be too stupid of a game. Which obviously, the fact that my little bar down there is high isn't true. But overall, as I was saying before, you showed up.
I'm barely breaking a sweat.
I lost a lot of stuff whenever my account got hacked, and ended up losing a lot of my online stuff. I had to relink every bit of social media I had to my PlayStation, and lost around $240, which kind of sucked for me. So I was trying to get my stuff back together before I could start streaming again. Which, luckily, thanks to a couple of good friends of mine, I was able to get back into this. Instead of leaving y'all waiting for like 10 years. Like I did for that one Multiple Lamb video. Because I couldn't get it to upload. Which sucked for me.
Where is he?
But hopefully you enjoy, you and whoever else has one viewing enjoys
of course.
This very underknown
Sifu
game.
You know why I'm here, don't you? Just step aside.
You were a mistake. I should never have taught you. Now you know too much. By returning here tonight, you've given me a second chance. This time, I will do what I must.
Always liked that little hand movement. Always sounded a bit cool. Especially in, like, Karate Kid. kind of sort of imposes the fact that I'm better than you. Come and fight me if you dare.
When I look into your eyes, I see nothing but a frightened, angry child.
There's actually 2 endings to this game currently playing right now, and it took me a couple months to get the second ending, just because of how drastically difficult it is to try and get. Because it requires you to do special things in every area with the bosses, which I'm not really going to spoil anything here, obviously, just in case y'all want to go do it yourself. But it does require 2 playthroughs of the game. This game is it's all about you constantly dying, and the more you die, the more skills that you can get. If I'm correctly, your max age is like 70, because every time you die, you go by an age. And after every 10 years, you end up gaining more damage, but you lose more health, max HP. So you'll be dealing with enemies a lot quicker and bosses easier, but it also comes to the fact that you'll start dying a lot faster. So it's kind of sort of good balance of, if you die, you get skills. If you don't die, you have to wait until the end of a level to get skills. But you don't have to worry about later on if you're going to have to run out of lives before you can get to a boss. So that's a pretty interesting dynamic, in my opinion, that I don't see a lot of games do. Like, we got Dark Souls, where every time that you die, you end up losing your souls, and you gotta go and get them again, but now you know what's up ahead. But for this one, now you know what's up ahead, but now there's a real risk aside from just losing souls, quote unquote. So you do end up losing a little bit of XP. There's more to it than that. There's more of a risk factor. Here's our main character. This is him actually telling you... This is the game's way of telling you how to deal with every boss in the game. So every boss has their own separate weakness. And the botanist, if you do directional throws, it really kind of sort of puts him off his game. And you end up being a counterattack. Whereas Sean, the fighter, here, he relies on pole arms, which once it tells you how to dodge for pole arms, which after you do that, he's kind of defenseless. He can't do anything to you. Kuroki, aka the artist, is the one I struggle with the most, because for the life of me, I cannot get Palm Strike to work, which is her weakness, because it sends her flying back. I can't get it to work for the life of me. I've never got it to work. And I don't really sweep with her, I just dodge her attacks. Usually, I'm able to get pretty up close and personal with her. Which, at the end of the day, that's really all that matters, is, at least with her, is that you can be sweeping her all day, but if you get close and personal, that's where she's actually really weak, because she relies on range. So, if you take her range away from her, well, she's not really much of a threat. And Yang here is actually really different from Yang whenever you actually fight him at the end of the game. Which I'm not going to really say why, but she's a lot more difficult than any other boss in this game. By far. This right here is your skill tree. Quite literally, it's a tree that gives you skills. Which, this is what I mean by the end of every level, you can come and get your XP this way if you just didn't want to die. So, every skill you can unlock normally for the XP. However, if you lose all of your lives, aka I think age 70, or if you want to try and restart a level to try and end it at a better age, if you don't have the permanent unlock down there up to max, you lose that skill. So let's say you buy every single skill in this game, but you don't permanently unlock any of them. You go back to the first level, it's like starting a fresh game. You lose everything. So, you also gotta pick and choose what you want to keep for good and what you don't want to. Unless, of course, you've beaten the game already and you just want to get everything. Every board comes with some information about everyone. Like, to the far left is the botanist, aka the first person you gotta go and fight. And all of these blank spaces are stuff that you can find about him. Some of them regard about shortcuts. And the more you explore, the easier it gets to do stuff, I guess. Like, for instance, first time you enter the squats, you gotta go for the entire level. But once you reach the very end of it, you end up getting a key that lets you just skip straight to the very end of the level next time you play it. So there's perks to actually being thorough with your exploration.
The entrance to the warehouse. Need to find another way inside.
Get lost. Nothing here for you.
Most enemies are pretty easy to take out. They don't really pose much of a threat to you, especially early on in levels, because the game's trying to take some pity on you, doesn't want to send anything too bad to you just yet. I just missed that. So, you can expect, at least for the first little bit, to be a lot easier. However, once the game starts teaching about elite enemies, it no longer holds your hand. And you're on your own. Which I personally like, because I don't like being my hand being held in games, but I know that a lot of people prefer to be told about every little thing. So, sometimes this game just isn't for you. So that's alright, because every game's different. Oh, also, I'm rushing through these levels because, not because, I've already played the game, but because that that score modifier on the far right is really important if I want to get some good skills. Especially, near the end of the stage, if I decide to try and pull a no death, then it will drastically go up. which will allow me to get some of the easiest, some of the hardest to get abilities in this game. So, it's not all bad. And that's that corridor done. Oh, also every weapon has its own durability. I haven't touched a weapon yet, but I'll show y'all in just a second. That stuff like bats, knives, bottles. Bottles will break instantaneously. They have zero durability. So, let's say, for instance, let's see if there's a bottle in here. Yeah, there is. Cool. I take this bottle, I bring it over here, and I throw it. Broke instantaneously. Whereas, let's see if I can get a hold of this dude's weapon. I guess not, because everyone wants to swarm me. But it's alright. Because as long as you know what you're doing, you can handle any situation in this game. Which is another thing I like. Alright, I'm gonna teach you a little mechanic here. Some enemies, once you try and defeat them, they will just block your finishing blow, and they become drastically harder to beat. Like right here. This dude has no right to be this difficult to beat. But because I tried killing him whenever he didn't want to, he got like that. So, it's just sometimes better to just downright kill the enemy instead of trying to do a takedown. Because takedowns they do give you a better score, and they do give you more XP, but it's just sometimes it's just not worth it. Okay, so everything in this game matters. Like, for instance, structure regain. Increase your structure gain on a successful avoid, meaning you can last a bit longer in a fight without having your structure broken, or your posture broken. Same thing here on a successful avoid or parry, which that's something I do a lot, but I'm not going to do it for the sake of this. You get an extra half a focus bar, which at first you can't do anything with, but once you get the second upgrade of this, you're able to have, now you would have 2 focus bars. Which Yang has free focus bars in the beginning of the game, as you saw. So he has the skill maxed out. Weapon damage and impact on opponent structure. I've never really found too important, but let's say if you rely a lot on weapons, I guess it can be really useful to you, especially because like knives already deal a lot of damage. So it would make them overpowered. Right here, increase your weapon durability. Also, I was wrong. You can get skills here. I just now know that. But weapon durability, increase your weapon durability, obviously. Health gain on takedowns increases how much health you get. And structure reserve, in my opinion, the most important one here, because it increases your maximum structure. So let's say you're not very good at blocking or something, this is vitally important. So I'm gonna get that. And I'm also going to get weapon catch. See, I bought it once, permanent unlock is on 1. 4 more times I have to buy this, and then I permanently unlock it. And I'm going to get ground counter, because you'll get knocked down a lot in this game. So it's just very important to have those too. Because they'll throw bottles at you, you can catch them. They'll throw knives at you. It's just, you're better off getting those two initially.
Another jump here. I can make it.
This is where the game stops holding you.
I'll have to throw you back through it.
There's not a lot of these guys in the game, but trust me, they hurt. Especially because very little throw ability that they keep on trying to do 3 times in a row will deal devastating damage. So, it's just better off to try and avoid them, from personal experience at least. Don't forget, some enemies are just free XP. Because they'll just be sitting there and you can just instantly knock them down.
I don't want to be late for the club.
This is actually the first room I actually died in my first playthrough of this game. So, taking down the biggest threat here. Oh, see, there's weapon catch in its own personal thing. Remember, oh, and also, yeah, you can trick your opponent to hurting each other. That was a close one. Which, this guy, if I killed him right there, he would have turned into a super opponent. We don't want that. That's the last thing we need. So, moving onward. Okay, so here, lock door. You need some keys, right? Then here, you'll see 2 elite enemies.
With great.
And oh, also elite enemies, they can demonstrate abilities that you already have. Like for instance, he demonstrated weapon catch right there. Die for the first time. This is your death counter. It increases by 1 of each death. And now I get to, obviously, do another thing. Or if I want to, I can just rise and choose not to. You know, face smash bonus works here because there's a lot of bad, like, weapons here. Whenever you rise, your death counter is added to your range. That wasn't a very good death to have, but you know what? It serves some very good purpose. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to get here, at least not for this one, but increase the impact of parry on opponent structure. It's 8,000 score for a reason. It drastically helps, especially if you're going for the second ending, but I'm going to get it here. No, I'm not going to get it here, but I'm going to get it on the last one here, just to show you what happens. And killing them got me keys. Meaning now, next time I do this, I'll have a way of getting straight to the end of the game. Well, not end of the game, but end of this. So, it's really nice to have and all. So. This is actually where I've seen a lot of people who have played this game die. Just because of the simple fact of they overestimate their abilities. And they get taken down.
Holy shit!
Holy shit. is right. See, never death. I overestimated my abilities, and I paid the price. It's as simple as that. Here, I'm probably gonna spend it on another weapon catch, because I want to try and upgrade that to permanent. Especially because that makes it a lot easier for me.
Put that down.
Oh, and also, if you kill a certain amount of enemies, your death counter does go back down to 0. I wasn't very good trying to explain that earlier. But, yeah, no, that's how that works. And just like that, we're at the end of the level with a score of 10,281. Which means... ta-da! Time for the structure. Which can be really helpful. Especially if you play like how I do. Pass key for a room at the Sanctuary, which the Sanctuary is the last level of the game. First phase was not too hard. It's nothing compared to the second phase of this fight, which can be... First time I played this game, I lost 10 lives off this boss. Granted, I was just bad at it, so... I can't really say much. I was awful at this game when I first played it. It took a lot of time for me to get as good as I can be. Which... see? Already almost done with this fight. I can end him right here. Or I can wait. Okay, and break his my opponent's structure one more time. Which allows me to spare him. I don't want to do that. I just wanted to show that it's enough. especially because I know that some people are like really weird about their bosses in games. Like I've seen people who want to spare every boss in a game, which I don't personally understand. But hey, you do you.
I have spent 8 long years preparing for
I'm not here to judge. And just like that, level's done. You get access to, see, the tree grows a bit more. Plus, you get a lot of XP. So, weapon mastery is really nice to get, but you'll never really want to have to worry about it until I say probably your second game, especially because it helps on your first run too, but you'll never have to worry about it, especially because a lot of bosses won't let you fight them with a weapon. I actually got lucky and picked up a weapon and kept it. But most bosses, some of them will give you a weapon like Sean, the fighter, the next one, will give you a pole arm to use, but if you don't know how to use it, you're just going to discard it immediately. Because it can be a hazard to use a weapon that you don't know how to use. The artist, unless you have a shortcut, you cannot get to her with a weapon. Like, at all. It will break before you can get to her. And I mean, I guess you can get a weapon to the CEO, but it does require a lot more skill than I thought it would, because I always gamed her with like one hit left on my weapon. And Yang, it doesn't matter if you go in there with a weapon or not, you can't use it all that well. So, I am going to get Slide Kick, just because it's good to have, and also get Environmental Mastery, which will help here in the fighter section, because simple fact of there's a lot of stuff on the ground, which the more stuff on the ground in the level, the better Environmental Mastery does. Especially because you just kick it at an enemy, they drop to the ground most of the time. Bada bing, bada boom.
Private, back up.
Slide kick right there gives you an instant knockdown, which allows for a connector, or punch on the ground, whatever you call it. So, to me, slide kick's just good because it gives you a lot more options than most other abilities. But I wouldn't recommend getting it for your second level, because there's just more important skills for your first level. This is just like the laboratory room on the first level. It will definitely trick you into trying to kill a couple enemies with a takedown. Which, if you try to do that, I think the last enemy here will just go super on you. But we don't want that. We would actually like to refrain from that, because that just gives you more of a risk than necessary. You don't want that. this lady right here can be a bit of a... Especially with the fact that she likes to use her kicks, which I don't know if you noticed, if y'all noticed, but kicks are kind of a weakness in this game, especially not just for me, but just in general. People just don't do well with kicks. Especially because they're just so random. Like, you can be doing fine on one thing, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's just, oh crap, I did the wrong move. Oh well. You can be going from dodging and everything to all of a sudden, oh, here comes a kick. And then you're screwed, because you weren't prepared for it. So, the less you have to deal from them, the better. Fun little fact, or I guess whoever watches this later, whoever's currently watching, I didn't learn how to actually start dodging and all that until having to fight Yang for the first time, because I just brute forced my way through the game, and I learned later you can't do that. Because if you don't know how to dodge whenever it comes to Yang, you cannot beat this game. Because he relies on you knowing how to dodge. And yeah, it's just not very fun. Especially because I had to relearn the entirety of a game. No one wants to do that. Unless you are an insane person. Hey. Or you're just dedicated. Hey, good on you. You're better than I am. So I will do neither. I don't have any desire to. Bouncers. I hate them. Let's see what can be good here. You know what? That's gonna be good. And once again, I'm just gonna buy a weapon cache. So, age 23. Hopefully, I can get to another level up before I reach age 25, or else I will be locked out of my weapon durability forever, or at least until the end of this run. Which, for all I know, could be this room, but I don't think. This should bring my death count to 0. No? That's a surprise. But
That's closing tonight.
I know I'm talking a lot, but it's just because I'm trying to give y'all tips and personal advice on how to do this game, because this game can be brutal. And if y'all want to enjoy this game, and if not enjoy this game, y'all can enjoy it however y'all want. But I don't want to give y'all the illusion that it's easier than it seems. Obviously it's not, because I just got messed up by a kicking lady. And that's 25. After 26, once 26 hits, I will forever lose weapon durability. So let's lock in, not die. So if I'm going a bit silent here, that's my apologies. I just don't want to. It's a very important thing. At least not yet. And there we go. That is one of the harder parts of this section. Simply because it's 2v1 and one's an elite enemy and one's a bouncer. So that's just not a good combination. And then you immediately get led into an elite boss fight.
Supposed to be party tonight.
Let me through. I don't want any trouble.
You already found it.
Now, see, some enemies will start repeating boss movements. Like, for instance, he just did the botanist's jump attack. For anyone who is watching. And just like the keys, this allows you to skip straight to the boss, basically. So, it's just good to have. Just in, like, in general. Alright, and here is another level up.
Above this door are the 3 trials.
Which, you have the ability to fight everyone in here, but I don't recommend it. Especially because some of these can turn elites. It's just not worth it. Nor is it really worth the trouble.
Step forward.
So,
I'll make you pay.
I was an idiot and decided to try and immediately go for a kill, knowing what would happen.
No way. No fucking way.
Drop your weapon. Insane.
Survival of the fittest.
I'll be right back after this fight. I do have a personal matter to deal with. Not waiting. Or, right after this. So I will be right back, everyone. Just like that, we are back. Which won't be for too long, because after this level I do have to end the stream.
That's it. Get up.
You shall not fear death. The winner becomes a king, and the loser a thief.
Your master's mind is broken. He will drag you and all the others down into the abyss.
Look around you. You don't look so different to me. If you didn't want to fight,
Here we will fight the
pick up your weapon.
second and also the final elite before the boss.
You disappoint me.
Which is already done. I'm not very good with the pole arms, so I'm probably just gonna throw this at Sean. And that's it, because I've never really been good with them. I've never understood their moveset, and it's just not real. I'm not gonna risk my life in this game just fighting with.
Pathetic.
Close. We don't want that again. Well, and also ended the level with a score of 11,000. Perfect, because that is just enough to increase my parry stuff.
Sifu, my arms are yours.
Leave. I recognize that uniform. It represents a school for the weak and feeble.
But this is Sean. And like I said, as long as you can dodge his polearm, that's all that matters. Believe it or not, we haven't gone yet age in terms of like damage. So obviously we've gone on the age. But damage wise, no. It's still base damage. Which is a miracle because there's a trophy in playing this game for not dying a single time. So they beating the game at age 20. So I don't understand how people do that. I guess dedicate their entire thing to this? No. Got this first phase done. I don't understand how a single cigarette turns all this into that. But you know what? You do you, bro. You do.
You're almost as good as Yang. I thought he was unchallenged at that old bastard's school. Who are you?
Have you not figured it out by now?
Enough games. Let's put an end to this show.
Which, for a second phase, mostly the same, actually. He just has a higher damage output. Because these moves that he uses here aren't literally the exact same. Like, people like to say for this sweeping move he does in this stage is brand new for only this stage, but it's not. If you decide to dilly-dally in the first phase, he will start sweeping attacking you. He just does it more often in this phase. So, it's not like this. He's completely difficult as long as you have the first phase down. But second phase should never be a problem for you. Especially because, like I said, it's just the exact same. It's just that he has a bit more direction in his attacks. So. But. Thanks to ground counter that I got in the first phase. But anytime he knocks me down, I just fight back up. Just like that is over. But yeah, no, that was the second level. We only got 3 more left to go, and then we'll be done. So, I'm gonna level up. As you see, the tree gets bigger. Weapon catch is permanently unlocked now, so even if I restart, I'll still have it. And for this one, I will get 5 combos. And I'm gonna permanently unlock that. And I will also end up getting pushback canceled because that will drastically help me on that. But that's really about it. So, can't really show you too much more, obviously. But till I see y'all next time, hopefully it will not be as long as this time because I won't get hacked again. Peace.